Hi everyone, this is Lorena Freya, and welcome to Journey into Witchcraft. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing the different types of altars, as well as the tools that you could use for your altar or for different types of rituals. So first off, let's discuss what an altar actually is. So an altar is a sacred space that is dedicated for magical practices, deity worship, meditation, or anything you feel requires a separate sacred place to work in. While there are traditional ways to set up an altar, your altar is unique to you. Only include items on your altar that speak to you and feel right. That's what an altar is. A traditional altar consists of a goddess statue, a goddess candle, a god candle, a god statue, a chalice, a bowl of water, a bowl of salt, a feather, an incense holder with incense, a cauldron, a pinnacle, a candle to represent fire, and a wad or a thame. Now this is a lot, so I do have a photo of the setup on my blog post for you to see. I personally have a basic ritual altar that I change up with every ritual, depending on the moon phase or ritual I'm performing. For example, with the Virgo full moon that we just had, I used a Granny Smith apple to represent earth, sage incense in a healing perfume that I made to represent air, a light green candle anointed with a healing oil that I also made to represent fire, and a chalice of new moon water to represent water. I lined the apple with amethyst crystals. I had a pinnacle in the middle and an offering milk in the center for the goddess breed. Again, I do have a photo of my setup on my blog post. I also have a goddess altar for Freya. Most Wiccans have an altar for their primary deity, but for my Freya altar, I have a golden altar cloth, a statue of Freya, a heart-shaped jar of salt for earth, a passion perfume for air that I made, a black candle for protection, a chalice of full moon water that's charged every full moon, an offering of honey. Usually I just put the bottle on the altar so it doesn't go bad, but when I do any kind of ritual that involves Freya, I will take a small jar and pour some honey into it. And I will change out the elements every so often depending on my current need. Also, I do have some runes that I keep on my altar too. They usually are runes pertaining to fertility or family life. Another type of altar is an ancestral altar. You might have seen these if you heard of Dia de los Muertos or watched the movie Coco. For an ancestral altar, you'll want to create a list of your ancestors, including the ones that you don't know. You'll cover your altar with a white altar cloth. You will represent each of the elements, usually a crystal representing earth, a feather representing air, a white candle representing fire, and a glass of water representing water. You will add your ancestors' personal items, including any kind of passed down jewelry, photographs, collections, etc. You'll want to keep the altar alive by lighting the flame of the candle daily and placing the candle when needed. You can add plants or flowers to the altar. If any of your ancestors have a favorite flower or a favorite plant, make sure to add that one. You can add any kind of personal touches that you like. Anything that you can think of that your ancestors like, go ahead and add that on there. Give offerings to the ancestors often. Like I said, if you remember what they liked in their lifetime, try to offer them those things, whether it be croissants or a shot of whiskey. Your ancestors will always be there to watch over you, so make sure to thank them for that. Moving on to our next type of altar, the elemental altar. Yes, you can have a separate altar for each of the elements. If you favor one element over the other, this might be for you. Or if you want a specific altar so that your spell space is already set up for you, this might also be for you. An earth altar might consist of crystals, plants, wood, the pinnacle, bones, or coins. And I've got a picture of this, as well as all the correspondences of earth on my blog post. An air altar might consist of incense, feathers, bells, a staff, a broom, or a pin. Again, I also have that picture of the air altar on my blog post, as well as all the correspondences of air. A fire altar might consist of candles, athames, snakeskin, wands, cauldrons, or pyramids. Like the other elements, I also have a photo of this altar, as well as the correspondences of fire on my blog post. And a water altar might consist of a chalice, shells, a salt lamp, hagstone, seaweed, and sand. Again, I have a photo of this altar as well as the correspondences of water on my blog post. If you consider yourself a specific type of witch, you might consider an altar specifically for that craft. For example, a cosmic witch might have an altar with crystals, the zodiac chart, alien symbolism, decorative stars, and moon water. Whereas a divination witch might choose to include bones, runes, a tarot or oracle deck, tea, or even animal symbolism on top of the usual elements. A sea witch might use moonstone, aquamarine, or pearl as their earth element, a chalice of salt water, a mirror, a candle for fire, seashells, effigies, and sand. The last type of altar I want to mention is the Wheel of the Year altars. If you are a pagan or a Wiccan, or if you simply want to celebrate the pagan holidays, you might consider a temporary altar for that specific holiday. For Imbolc or a Candlemas, you might see Breed's Cross, a Basum, white, gold, yellow, pink, and green candles, white flowers, lavender, seeds, grains, nuts, milk, bay leaves, basil, chamomile, bloodstone, garnet, ruby, bells, bridey dolls, bride's bed, Celtic knotwork, corn dollies, sheep, an oil lamp, shepherd's crook, snowdrops, sunwheel, swan feathers, and woolen yarn. If you want some more information about Imbolc, I had a Imbolc podcast episode that you can check out, or you can check out the blog post. For Astera, or the spring equinox, you might see pastel candles, fake eggs and nests, jasmine, rose, or lotus incense, potted plants, rose quartz, amethyst, moonstone, a packet of seeds, chicks and bunny decorations, fake or fresh flowers, candy offerings, and bonus points for jelly beans or chocolate, and birds on the altar. Now, Astera is coming on the 20th of this month, so I do have a podcast episode coming next Saturday that's going to give you some more information about this holiday. For Beltane or May Day, you might see colored ribbons, a flower wreath, food offerings, crystals for fertility and love, colored candles, fresh flowers, 2 rings, earthy or floral incense, rosé wine, miniature maypole, strawberries, antlers, horns, an athame, chalice, fire, dew water, goddess symbols, and symbols of fertility on the altar. For Litha, or the summer solstice, you might see yellow, orange, and red candles, citrine, tiger's eye, carnelian, pyrite, a representation of the horned god, a flower wreath, lavender, mint, St. John's wort, a representation of the god Ra, dried oranges, mirrors, a solar cross, seashells, marigold, sunflowers, roses, carnations, lilies, peonies, hydrangeas, and citrus and mint essential oils. For Lammas or Lunasa, you might see carnelian, tiger's eye, amber, wheat, grains, fruits or veggies, photos of past loved ones, symbols of the sun, pine cones, sunflowers, marigolds, yellow daisies, the sun tarot card, gold, brown, orange, green, and burgundy candles, freshly baked breads, gourd, ears of corn, corn dollies, etc. For Mabon or the autumn equinox, you might see hematite, amber, citrine, ametrine, rhodonite, topaz, lapis lazuli, aventurine, moonstone, clear quartz, apples, squash, corn, pumpkin, autumn leaves, animal images such as the blackbird, eagle, owl, salmon, stag or wolf, herbs such as chamomile, sage, and yarrow, and essential oils or incense such as cinnamon, myrrh, sage, or frankincense. For Samhain or All Hallows Eve, you might see pumpkins, incense such as copal, dragon's blood, benzoin, patchouli, cinnamon, or clove, skulls, items belonging to your ancestors, candles that are black, red, orange, gray, brown, or yellow, autumn leaves, acorns, ancestor offerings, marigolds, cider, wine, mead, rosemary, a tarot deck, keys, candy, crystals such as citrine, carnelian, ametrine, moonstone, hematite, Botswana agate, bloodstone, jet, smoky quartz, obsidian, or onyx. For Yule or the winter solstice, you might see baked cookies, wreaths, dried orange slices, cinnamon sticks, sprigs of balsam, fir, or cedar, white, silver, gold, green, or red candles, crystals such as tanzanite, onyx, turquoise, orange calcite, and snowflake obsidian, herbs such as rosemary, sage, nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, mistletoe, and peppermint, the hermit or the magician tarot cards, paper snowflakes, a Yule log, walnuts, hazelnuts, a bowl of snow, or even bells. I'm sure there are many other types of altars, but again, these are completely catered to you. So you can set up your altar however you like. I do have pictures of every single one of these types of altars on my blog post. So definitely give that a look if you're interested on seeing those types of altars. It's lorenafreya.wordpress.com. Now that we've discussed the altars, let's talk about what tools you can use for your altar and rituals. We will discuss the tools of each element to make things simpler. So let's start with earth. So number 1 is acorns. Acorns can be worn or carried to promote youthfulness, longevity, luck, and protection. They are commonly used in spells for wisdom and prosperity, as well as to attract fairies. These can also be put on your altar if you'd like, for wisdom and prosperity. Number 2, antlers. Often used to represent the god Cernunnos, antlers can be used for protection, strength, endurance, deflecting curses, and a symbol of hope. Antlers are also a great way to connect with spirits and aid in spirit communication because deer are believed to be able to pass between worlds with ease. Number 3, bones. While each type of bone has a slightly different correspondence, they can be used to represent the element earth, and in spells relate to death, spirits, and ancestral work. For example, teeth can be used in aid in communication, defense, news, or to add bite to a spell. Skulls are commonly used for communication, learning, thoughts, divination, spirit work, and astral travel. Vertebrae can be used for support, endurance, confidence, and strength, especially if you need help holding your head high and walking tall. Rib bones are perfect for agility and protection. Number 4, broom or a besom. So brooms can be used for protection, to ward off negativity, banishment, and to sweep away the dirty energy. If you cast a magical circle, a besom can be used to guard the entrance and exit should you need to leave for whatever reason. Number 5, ceramics. Earthenware bowls, statues, beads, or other objects can be used for a variety of purposes depending on their design. Use them to represent deities, to hold soil, crystals, or other representatives of earth, as well as fire-safe bowls. Number 6, coins. Coins can be used to promote prosperity, abundance, and luck, while also acting as a grounding agent depending on the material used. Coins are great for money spells and job magic. Number 7, discs. In tarot, earth is often represented by coins, discs, or pinnacles. This can be used to represent the element earth on your altar as plates for spellcasting, to represent the cyclic nature of the season or the will of the year. If you don't know what I'm talking about by a disc, just check out my blog post because I do have a picture of it. Number 8, emeralds. Often referred to as the stone of truth, emerald can be used to protect the wearer or user from deception and lies. It is also useful in protecting against domestic violence, nightmares, or a psychic attack. Emerald is also great for connecting with the other world and contacting spirits. Now, of course, crystals are also connected to the element of earth, so you can pretty much use any crystal for earth. Number 9, flowers. Flowers are a great way to represent the element earth on your altar or around your home. While each flower has a different magical correspondence, they can be used in beauty magic, grounding, purification rituals, and spiritual cleansing. Number 10, horns. Horns can be used in defensive magic to add aggression to a spell for endurance, perseverance, protection, cursing or hexing, or in wealth spells. Number 11, iron. Iron is deeply associated with the earth as well as heavenly bodies. Iron is found in abundance across the universe, thus embodying the phrase, as above, so below. Iron is often used for grounding as well as protection, power, courage, and strength. Because of its connection with both earth and the heavens, it can be used to travel between worlds. Now, if you're trying to work with the Fae, don't use iron because it hurts them. And as far as your altar goes, for iron, you could have an iron cauldron or you could have an iron teapot. Those are the most common things. You could also have an iron disc as well. Number 12, jet. Jet is another crystal. It's commonly used for protection, especially for a home or business or against psychic vampires. It also guards against nightmares, violence, and anxiety, and you can use it to bring balance to your life. Number 13, lead. Lead is the heaviest of the base metals and blocks out light, sound, and electricity. While often associated with fire, lead is also deeply connected to earth. It can be used for grounding, strength, stability, meditation, and to work with the other world. It's also perfect for breaking and shadow work. Number 14, leaves. Like flowers, the type of leaves you use will have different correspondences. However, they are a great way to represent the earth. You can place them on your altar as an offering or to help you ground and center. Number 15, moss. Moss grows rapidly and abundantly in low light conditions, and because of this, it can be used for protection, prosperity, abundance, wealth, and luck magic. It can also bring stillness or calmness to a situation. Number 16, moss agate. Moss agate's another type of crystal. It's most commonly used in gardening magic to promote fertility and health amongst your plants. However, on a personal level, it can be used to balance emotions, bring inner peace, and quiet the mind. Moss agate is a great grounding stone. Number 17, pinnacles. Pinnacles are most commonly used as a form of protection, whether it be an object or a living creature. They can be worn, carried, or drawn in chalk, oil, or in the air. The pinnacle can also be used for banishing, summoning, cleansing, or connecting with all the elements. You'll see people drawing pinnacles in the air when they cast their circles sometimes. I know I do that. But if you ever watch the online rituals, you'll definitely see that. Number 18, river rocks. River rocks are perfect for grounding, smoothing a situation, healing spells, or in magic relating to being steadfast, yet open to change. Number 19, roots. Roots and root vegetables can be used in protection and grounding rituals, as well as for cleansing. They also act as a great offering to local spirits, deities, and ancestors. They can also be used for endurance, steadfastness, stability, strength, and longevity. You'll see a lot of Dia de los Muertos ancestral altars being placed at the roots of trees because of this. Number 20, seeds. Most commonly used in fertility magic, seeds can also be used for spells regarding new beginnings, growth, abundance, and strength. You can use it to help grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. Whisper spells and blessings over the seeds and watch your magic grow with them. Let's move on to air. Number 1, balloons. Balloons are the perfect magical tool for carrying messages, but let's not release balloons into the environment. It's incredibly harmful to the environment and the animals around us. However, that doesn't mean that balloon imagery can't be used for the same purpose. Balloons are also great for charging a spell. You write a sigil on the balloon and blow it up, filling the balloon with your intent. Rub it on yourself and further charge it, then pop the balloon to release a spell. Balloons can also be used to raise energy or crush insecurities. Number 2, bells. Sound is deeply associated with the element air, making the bell associated with air as well. Bells are a great way to raise energy, dispel negativity, and cleanse a space or object. Number 3, besoms or brooms. We touched on this a little bit with the earth element, but with air it's a little bit different. So brooms are associated with flying, cleansing, and protection. You can use the brooms to protect your home or a magical circle when you cut a door or to sweep away negativity. The brooms can also be used during astral flight or hedge riding. Number 4, bubbles. Bubbles are great for releasing what no longer serves you or carrying messages. Bubbles are a great environmentally friendly alternative to balloons. If you are using bubbles to release what no longer serves you, simply breathe your intention into the bubbles and form them and allow them on their merry way. To carry messages, just whisper your messages into the bubbles as you blow the best you can. Bubbles are also a great way to attract fairies as they're so shiny. Number 5, a censer. A censer or a thurible is a heat-proof vessel that holds charcoal and incense. And by incense, I mean loose incense. The smoke from incense can be used to infuse your spells with the magic of the herbs, carry your messages to the universe or deities, cleanse space for divination, summon spirits, or to reach an altered state of consciousness. If you've never seen a censer, I do have a picture of it on the blog post. It's not one of those like plastic pieces that hold the incense sticks. It's like this actual metal, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like this metal container that holds loose incense and a charcoal disc. And it just really gets all that smoke out and lets it burn a lot longer than just a regular bowl. Number 6, dandelion seeds. Dandelion seeds are perfect for wish making. Whisper your wish over the seeds and then blow them away. You've probably done this ever since you were a child. Number 7, feather. Different feathers have different meanings depending on their color and source. For example, eagle feathers are associated with strength and courage, while owl feathers are associated with wisdom and silence. Black feathers are associated with spiritual action and self-exploration, blue for communication, red for passion, and gray for peace. No matter what the feather, there are some universal uses for them. Use feathers to fan your incense, flames, or spells to move the magic around. You can incorporate feathers into communication spells or during astral flight to aid in crossing the hedge. You can tie feathers into witches' ladders, which is a not magic fetish. Place in spells to help them on their way, or use in banishing or travel spells. Number 8, floating lanterns. Floating lanterns combine fire and air into a powerful wishing spell. You've probably seen Tangled, right? The lanterns act as a vessel to light the path of a spell and carry it to its destination. Paper-based lanterns are generally environmentally friendly, but always check what the lantern is made of before releasing it. Nothing will interrupt a spell like harming the environment. Number 9, a flute. The flute is a great way to raise energy during spell work. You can create a magical tune prior to the spell, or use your intention to create a song while casting your spell. The flute can also be used to appease deities, summon spirits or fairies, or carry the magic to its destination. Number 10, the harp. Harps can be used in the same way as the flute. However, harps are also great for sleep magic, specifically putting something to rest. If you have a spell that you wish to end, you can play a harp to help you break it. Number 11, incense. Incense comes in a variety of scents and can be used for a variety of different purposes. Lavender incense is great for peace, relaxation, and dreams, while frankincense is good for cleansing and raising the vibration of a space. When working spells, pick an incense that corresponds to the magic you are creating. Incense can also be left as an offering to communicate with your ancestors. Use incense to cleanse your space or objects. Number 12, kites. Kites have historically been used to carry messages to the gods. Simply write your messages on a ribbon and tie it to the tail of the kite. As you tie the knot, state your intent. You can say something along the lines of, "Knot that I tie, kite that I fly, please cast my wishes into the sky." Number 13, pinwheels. Pinwheels can be used to capture and harness the power of the wind. Write down your intentions for your spell on the flaps of the pinwheel, and either blow on it or take it outside to let it be blown by the wind. Store the pinwheel in a safe place, like your altar or in a drawer. And to release the energy of the spell, simply just take the pinwheel apart. You can even make these at home. Number 14, perfume. So perfume scents can be used to attract something or protect against something. Did you know perfumes were used to coat breastplates in the past to protect the wearer from harm? Even today, we use perfume in a similar manner, creating a bubble of protection around us. Perfume can also be used to attract good energies, lifts energies, invoke good, seduce, or even curse. Use the scent to carry your spell with you all day or as an offering to the gods. For example, with my Virgo full moon, I created a perfume for healing. So just create it with the herbs that correspond to the magic that you're using. Number 15, quills. Quills are highly sought after by many witches wishing to recreate that more authentic, old-world witchcraft feel when writing in their grimoires or Book of Shadows. Quills, being associated with writing, knowledge, and wisdom, are deeply associated with air. They can be used to direct your energies into a written spell, to sweep away writer's block, or blow in new ideas. Number 16, ribbon. Ribbons can be easily used in cord or knot magic to tie or bind spells, or to write your intentions on and tie to an object to blow in the wind. You can use color magic to help you pick the best ribbon for the job. Number 17, smoke. Smoke, whether from incense, charcoal, or from candles, can be used to carry messages or spell intentions to their target or for divination. If using for divination, look for images in the smoke or ask questions and see the direction of the smoke moves. If you ask a question, be sure to ask it in your mind so that your breath does not influence the direction of the smoke. Smoke is a combination of fire and air, and therefore can be used for knowledge and wisdom of love, passion, and more. Also, one note to add, if you are using smoke for divination, make sure you're doing it indoors and turn your AC off to not affect the direction of the air or of the smoke. Number 18, wands. Depending on the tradition, wands are often associated with air, swords in other traditions. Use wands like you would in a thame to direct power, cut doors, and transmit and focus energies. Number 19, weather vanes. Weather vanes are an instrument for showing the direction of the wind. While the weather vane itself can be a spell, usually protection, it's most useful for helping you decide how to use the wind in your spell work. South-blowing winds are associated with fire, and therefore spells regarding passion, courage, war, and love are best cast in a southward direction. If the wind is blowing west, then spells for healing, emotions, and life are best. Number 20, whistles. Whistles combine both sound and breath into one. Whistles are great for calling the spirits and ancestors to get their attention or to scare off unwanted entities. They can also be used to stir up stagnant energies, so they can be removed from the home. Number 21, wind chimes. Wind chimes can be used to clear energies around your home and can act as a protective sound barrier against unwanted energies and entities. Many spirits dislike the constant sound of chiming bells. If the bells are made of iron, it will protect against many fey creatures that may wish to invoke mischief upon you. You can also write intentions on each of the bells and allow the wind to carry those intentions away with the sound of the bells. And number 22, wings. Wings are associated with flight, but also take on the aspects of the creature from which they were taken. Use wings, especially insect wings, in spells that need to be carried away or in astral travel. Moving on to fire. Number 1, amber. Amber, which is fossilized tree sap, is often referred to as the tears of the sun due to its golden hue. Use it for protection, healing, encourage, or to create happiness or protection amulets. Number 2, ashes. Ash is the product of burning, usually wood or paper. You can use ashes to symbolize fertility, rebirth, change, and transformation. Number 3, a thame. An athame is a ritual knife used for directing and manipulating energy. Many witches use an athame in a similar way to a wand to cast a magical circle, cut a door in the circle, or direct spell energy. Number 4, candles. Candles can be used for a variety of spell purposes, especially in candle magic. They can be dressed or anointed with oils, herbs, and crystals, or carved with sigils to pack a powerful magical punch. Different color candles are used for different purposes, such as green for prosperity, black for banishing, and red for passion. Number 5, charcoal. Charcoal is the burnt remains of wood or other organic material. It's best for cleansing, purification, and banishing. It's also great for protection and warding. Historically, charcoal was also used to create inks. Number 6, copper. Copper is a conductive, malleable metal commonly associated with Venus. Therefore, copper can be used in love spells as well as to conduct energy or transfer energy. It's commonly used for currency around the world and is perfect for offerings and prosperity magic. So you can use pennies. On my blog post, I used a picture of copper roses, which would be both love as well as, copper. There you go. Number 7, fulgurite. Fulgurite forms when lightning strikes sand or rock, forming a natural glass in the process. Due to its chaotic birth, it's great for chaos magic. as well as invoking rain and storms in communication with higher beings. Number 8, gold. Gold is deeply connected to the sun and was historically the color used to describe purifying, high vibrational energies. It can be used to attract wealth, prosperity, and power. Number 9, lanterns. Lanterns illuminate situations and help you or spirits navigate dark terrain. Number 10, lava rocks. Lava rocks form when magma cooks. Because lava originates from magma deep within the earth, it can be used for grounding and restraint. However, its fiery nature makes it also associated with energy, assertiveness, and passion. Number 11, lead. We talked about lead with earth, but it can also represent fire. It can be used for grounding, strength, stability, meditation, and to connect with the other world. It's also perfect for breaking habits and shadow work. Number 12, pumice. Pumice has a greater silica content and floats in water. It is perfect for reminding us to remain positive when we otherwise feel like we are drowning, and can be used to banish bad habits and emotions, as well as negative energy. Number 13, tin. Tin is associated with Jupiter, whose symbol is lightning. As such, tin can be used to protect against lightning or invoke lightning. Tin items are best charged using a lightning storm, which makes them potent magical items. It can also be used to bring about what you desire most, and is therefore perfect for prosperity and success spells, as well as rejuvenation spells. Now, for my example that I used on my blog post, I have a tin can that was hand painted, and it's being used as a container holding flowers. So that's a great way to utilize tin as part of your altar. And number 14 is the wand, which I'm not going to discuss again because it has the same exact qualities as it did with the air element. Last but not least, let's talk about the tools of water. Number 1 is ammonite. Ammonites are sea creatures that went extinct millions of years ago. Their fossilized remains are used for a variety of spells, including transference, healing, ancestral communication, cycles, protection, and fertility. Number 2, belemnite. Belemnites are fossilized ancient squids and are associated with the Norse god Thor. They are associated with lightning and thunder, and can be used for protection, especially from lightning, and can pack a powerful punch to spells that are intended to aggressively protect you from Earth, as well as hexes and curses. Number 3, bowls. Bowls are commonly associated with water and are used as vessels to hold water. Darker colored bowls can be used for scrying or as offering dishes. Bowls are also associated with the feminine, fertility, new beginnings, rebirth, and cycles. Number 4, cauldrons. Like bowls, cauldrons are used as vessels to hold water and are associated with the goddess. Cauldrons can be used in spells for fertility, rebirth, new beginnings, and wisdom. If you're looking to connect with the Fae, don't use cast iron, as iron is harmful to Fae. Number 5, the chalice. Chalices are commonly used as water-holding vessels and represent the female form. Number 6, the combs. Combs are strongly associated with mermaids and other water spirits. They can be used as offerings to entwine spells, magic, and charms, remove obstacles, and in glamour magic. Kind of reminds me of The Little Mermaid with Ariel brushing her hair with the fork. But, yeah. Number 7, coral. Coral is often used as protection from the evil eye, general danger and ill will, drowning, and nightmares. Number 8. Crab shells and claws. Crabs are associated with protection as well as withdrawal and retreat. Claws in particular can be used in protection spells or magic involving fighting something or giving something a pinch. Because crabs often run away, their shells can be used in magics involving retreating or withdrawing, especially if you're trying to get someone else to back down or you need assistance giving something up. They can also be used for binding. Number 9. Crinoid. Crinoids are ancient sea lilies, usually only their stems preserved, forming bead-like fossils. They are thought to bring good luck and victory to those who carry them and were often used as rosary beads. These make wonderful charm beads. Number 10. Driftwood. Driftwood is strongly associated with transformation and endurance. Pieces can be formed into charms and talismans for these purposes or used as wands. Number 11. Fishline nets. Fishing nets are most commonly associated with snaring or catching something, so they are perfect for use in binding spells or spells involving catching something. Because they are used to catch large amounts of fish, they are also associated with prosperity and abundance. It can be used in spells wishing to draw things to you, especially wealth. Number 12. Hagstones. Hagstones are stones with naturally occurring holes in them. They are most often used for protection, but the hole can be used to see into the other world or fae folk walking among us. They can be added to your hedge riding sachet or held to increase psychic abilities and ease travel to the other world. Number 13. Mermaid's Purse. Mermaids' purses are actually egg sacs from sharks, skates, and rays. They are often black and often referred to as devil's purses, sea purses, sailor purses, or maid's purses. They make excellent vessels for spells and rituals regarding growth, prosperity, birth, fertility, and renewal. They're also used for protection of children, pregnancy, and pets. If you find one washed up on the beach, make sure the babies have hatched. There should be a hole. Otherwise, place it back into the ocean. Number 14. Mirror. Mirrors mimic the surface of still water and can be used for scrying and divination. They can also be used for protection and reflection spells or as a portal to the other world. Mirrors are strongly associated with mermaids and can be used in glamour magic as well. Number 15. Orthoceras. Orthoceras is a fossil used for protection and healing of the spine because it looks like vertebrae. It can also be used for general healing purposes. Number 16. Pearls. Pearls are a direct result of mollusks attempting to protect and heal themselves when grains of sand or other irritants get inside the mollusk's shell. The particle is encased in calcium bicarbonate, the same material used to make shells. As such, pearls are often used for healing and are directly associated with the moon due to their shape and color. They can be used as offerings to deities, ancestors, and fae in beauty rituals, rejuvenation and transformation spells, as well as for health and sexual potency. Number 17. Sand dollars. Due to their star-like structure, sand dollars are associated with the pentagram. They can be used in money and prosperity spells, as well as rituals to bring wholeness. Number 18. Seahorses. Seahorses are commonly used for protection and luck. Seahorses were also believed to ferry the souls of drowned sailors to the afterlife, and can therefore be used in ancestral or spirit work, especially involving drowned souls. Please do not buy seahorses, as many people harvest them for profit. It's best to find them naturally. Number 19, sea glass. Sea glass is glass that has been worn smooth by the sea. As such, it can be used similarly to driftwood in spells for endurance and transformation. Sea glass is also used in death and rebirth magic, as well as in color magic. Number 20, seaweed. Seaweed, which is actually a protus, not a plant, is commonly used for fertility and prosperity due to its abundant nature. It can also be used for healing and to bind. Number 21, shark teeth. Shark teeth, or any marine teeth, are often used for protection and to add an aggressive kick to a spell. Shark teeth are great for curses and hexes, as well as making a spell more potent. Number 22, shells. Shells have a wide range of uses based on the types of shells being used. For example, conch shells are used for spirit communication and necromancy, often called oracle shells, while limpets are used for empowerment, courage, power, and wisdom. Number 23, starfish. Starfish are most commonly used in regeneration spells because starfish are able to regrow body parts that have been lost. Starfish are perfect for regeneration, new beginnings, regrowth, fertility, and prosperity magic. Being star-shaped, they are also associated with the pentagram and therefore protection. Number 24, witch balls. These are also known as fisher floats and are glass balls that wash up on shore. They are used for protection and to trap energy. Well, that is it for all of the altars and tools for the altars and rituals. Of course, there are many more of each of these, but if you want to see the photos of each of these, I do have photos of every single one of the altars that I mentioned, as well as every single one of the tools that I mentioned on my blog post. My blog is lorenafreya.wordpress.com. That's LORENAFREYJA.wordpress.com. And if you haven't followed me on my socials, my Facebook is Journey into Witchcraft. My Instagram is @LorenaFreya. My Twitter is @LorenaFreya. TikTok @LorenaFreya. And YouTube is Journey into Witchcraft. I also have a Patreon where for just $5 a month you can have access to my entire grimoire, as well as I do tarot card interpretations now, and you get the full videos of those. So that's just $5 a month right there. And that you just search Journey into Witchcraft. It's patreon.com/Journey into Witchcraft.